What does it mean for you to be engaged in your children's education?
I think folks would say I'm a very engaged parent. When I was growing up, my parents were busy earning a living, right? That they worked very hard to keep food on the table and keep us, in clothes. And, we had a lower middle, what I would call a lower middle class existence. And we got everything we needed, but not much more. We had, a few toys, but it was, pretty modest life. And I kind of had to figure out school by myself, right? I more or less was left alone to kind of figure that stuff out. And I made some choices. I'm not exactly sure that they were wrong. I mean, it certainly turned out well, but certainly early on, certainly like from junior high school, and into college, parents weren't very involved. Partly by my design, truthfully, they probably wanted to be more involved, and I kind of kept things at arm's bay. And because I thought that I was a person on the ground, right? I was a person that could make decisions better. And part of this because my parents were Eastern European immigrants, right? So part of my involvement with their education is to say, I believe that you can have a better experience than mine in school, and I am one of the science dads. Me and one of the other dads come in and do science experiments for the kids. Charlotte certainly understands what an experiment hypothesis is, at least on a basic level. Well, and I try very hard not to be, what I'm committed to is not being a helicopter parent, right? The kids have to figure out their own way, but at an appropriate pace, right? So I'm sure by grade 12, our involvement will be much less after colleges are picked. But for now, I'm very committed to staying engaged and making sure that Charlotte has a good experience and that she has an advocate. So I would say actually that the primary way I'm involved with Charlotte's school is that I'm an advocate for her. Not that, and I'm trying to teach her to advocate for herself. Both my wife and I would say that, I think. And she's 7, right? So she's not really in a position, although she does, I think, a pretty good job of it. So my involvement is to be an appropriate advocate. I'm not planning on being one of these parents that calls up your kid's first job and say, why didn't you promote him, right? They got to run there. But I think at age 7, at age 8, for the foreseeable future, her mother and I, and Doyle requires less advocacy at this moment because he's in preschool. But I would expect that we will continue our advocacy. But interestingly, you also have to be really thoughtful about when you don't advocate. So just today, we got the class list for what class Charlotte's going to be in next year. And there are 3 classes in her school. Each class has 21 kids. And there's a shuffling from year 1, from first grade to second grade. And we're not super thrilled with Charlotte's shuffle. There are very few friends from that class in her new class, right? It seems like, and I think that's a shame, right? Because we just moved to Atlanta. And my wife and I haven't discussed it, but I'm pretty sure we're on the same side of it. Like, we're not going to advocate for changing a class. We're not going to, Charlotte's got to kind of figure out how to be successful in an environment which is very friendly, right? Is it exactly what I would have wished for her? No, but that is part of our existence, right? That this is not an incredible hardship, right? She certainly has friends in the class. She will make other friends. She knows all of those children. I would have liked that one or two of our close friends would have been in the class. That didn't go that way. It's going to be fine. Right, so I think that part of what you need to be able to do in supporting your children's education is knowing when to not advocate, right? When to hold back and not be involved. Because I think being involved is actually easy. You can just say, "Yeah, I'm going to be involved." I think restraint is the harder part.